Vice President Yoon Young-sun up to the stage.
매월 어김없이 찾아오는 월경전 불편함. 이젠 케어해보세요. 편안한 그날을 위한 작은 습관. 애터미 그날엔 보라지유. 월경전 나타나는 지긋지긋한 신체적, 행동적, 정서적 변화. 청정 네덜란드산 보라지 종자유에 함유된 감마리놀렌산은 월경전 증후군 증상 완화는 물론 면역 과민 반응에 의한 피부 상태 개선에 도움, 혈행 개선에 도움, 혈중 콜레스테롤 개선에 도움을 줄 수 있습니다. 이젠 하루 2캡슐로 편안한 그날을 만나보세요. 애터미 그날엔 보라지유.
네, 안녕하세요. 애터미 부사장 윤용.
Hello, good afternoon. I am Yoon Young-sun, Vice President of Atomy.
제가 여성의 그런 행복, 평안을 얘기하는 걸 아주 좋아합니다.
I really like talking about women's health and happiness because my name is pretty like girlish, or my name is like a woman's name, so I really love to talk about women's health and happiness. I'm really sure that most of you are women, and I would like you to live a happy and healthy life.
살아갈 수 있으면 좋겠습니다. 그래서 오늘 준비한 제품에 대해서 설명을.
So let me start introducing today's product.
월경전 증후군이라고 들어보셨나요?
Have you heard of PMS?
네, 이거는 남자들은 잘 모를 겁니다.
I know men are not aware of it.
어떤 분께서
When I meet a lot of patients,
끝났어요. 생리가 끝났어요. 그래서 제가
some women in their menopause came to me, and I prescribed some hormone medicine and so on. And sometimes that women said, "I'm really happy that I got my menopause," because she really wanted that day to come.
보통 여성들의 이 생리가 시작되기 전에 4일에서 7일 사이 이때부터 시작되는 거. 어떤 사람은 2주 전부터
PMS might start 4 to 7 days earlier to the period, or 7 days prior to the period. But most of the symptoms come up 2 to 3 days earlier to the period. Sometimes they have some pains on their backs and the abdominal areas. So PMS is really hard for women. So in a lot of TV commercial, there are a lot of painkillers. For example,
그것을 많이 사 먹기도 하는데요.
painkillers, and some women also take a lot of medicine from pharmacies. But these medicines are like painkiller. It just kills the pains. It could not minimize the symptoms of the
통증만 없앱니다. 이
menstruation. It only kills the pain.
1년에 여성들의 평생에 3,000일을 이것 때문에 힘들어해요.
Normally,
어마어마한
on average,
우리 인생에서
women have hard time due to PMS for 3,000 days in their entire life.
보시겠지만
As you can see from this picture,
괴물이 하나 나타납니다.
on the day of second and third, we can see a monster.
여성분들이 얼마나 힘드실까?
I know how hard they are.
이때만 알아주기만 해도 무지 좋아요.
So just understanding them or understanding their mind is really important. I'm a Christian, so I met a lot of students and I also spread the gospel to a lot of people. But I think that one of the very important assets I need to have was to emphasize with the patients. So for those who are in the pain, I also share the gospel. I know most of women might have hard time in their menstruation and PMS, and what if there are 3 women having hard time due to menstruation? I am also living with my wife and my 2 daughters. I am living with 3 women. So after I got married, I checked the period of my wife and I calculated it in advance because I need to get prepared for it. I need to be careful verbally and I need to be careful with my actions. And I also get the symptoms. My wife started to eat a lot of carbs and I calculated and I realized that, oh, it's her period. And then I started to behave well.
살았기 때문에 제가 결혼한 뒤에
So after I got married,
싸우질 않았어요.
I fought with my wife only once. So, all of the gentlemen, if you calculate your wife's period and if you behave well, there will be no problems.
월경전 증후군은
Because of the PMS, a lot of men and the mother-in-law might also have hard time because mother-in-law
끊기고 나서는 본인은 몰라요.
might have her menopause and she might think that she's really healthy, but whenever her daughter-in-law act wrong, the mother-in-law could not understand. So PMS also influence the relationship between mother-in-law and daughter-in-law, father-in-law and daughter-in-law. Like this kind of PMS symptoms could last for 3,000 days in entire life. So one of the OBGYN, a doctor calculated it, and that doctor, the professor, explained it to me. It's like
아주 더운
walking in the dark cave with high humidity,
모든 증상을 설명할 수 있는
and you could experience indirectly all of the symptoms. Let's say it's a dark cave, it's a high temperature and high humidity, and we might feel insecure, we might get irritated, we might forget a lot of things, we might get irritated and sensitive, we might get angry, and we might get aggressive. So let's imagine that we need to live in the dark cave for 3,000 days in entire life. It's not easy.
증상들이 다 있어.
These are the symptoms of PMS,
이 복부가 이렇게 팽창이 되기도 하고 그다음에 이 가슴이
like abdominal distension, breast pain, and skin condition, and weight gain,
여기저기 아프기도 해요. 이런 수많은 증상들이
and a lot of pains. These kind of symptoms might come with PMS.
사람들은 월경전 증후군을 단순히 통증만 얘기하시는데
Some people
많이 아닙니다.
think that PMS might only have pains, but it also includes a lot of pains.
거의 8, 90%는 다
80 to 90% of the patient with PMS might have all of these symptoms.
사람들이 나타나는데
Almost 80% of people might have the symptoms, but if we calculate it, it also affects our productivity a lot.
한 5배, 6배는
It is so it could decrease the productivity by 5.7 times, and it also increases the likelihood of the absenteeism by 6.4%. So that if you have this kind of PMS symptoms, you might have harder time in working.
참고 해라.
If we say to stand it,
더 좋은 방법들이 많이 있습니다.
it might not be that much easy. So we need to provide other solution. That's why we developed this product, Atomy Borage oil. This is really helpful for the symptoms of the PMS, and there are a lot of core ingredients in this oil. So there are a lot of good ingredients such as GLA, gamma linolenic acid. What is important is that in GLA, there is a prostaglandin, so it could facilitate the creation of the prostaglandin, or it could also decrease its secretion so that it could strike a balance, because prostaglandin is creating pains. So when there is a pain, it decreases, and then when there is some blockage, it creates more prostaglandin. As such, it could strike a balance between the secretion of the prostaglandin. This is the role of gamma linolenic acid.
There have been a lot of research, and the research result shows that people who had this substance experienced lower period of conditions, and skin trouble has also decreased. And in the past, GLA was used to apply on your skin to reduce your skin conditions. And you can also see this graph. You can see P equals 0.002. If the number is less than 0.05, then it shows improvement. And if the number is 0.001, then that means a very, very good, great improvement.
그래서 우리가 요 안에 5중 기능성을 다
So we
담았습니다.
have 5
이
different
5중 기능성을 다
functions
담았기 때문에
inside
이
the
기능성을
product.
보더라도 우리가 만든 이 보라지유가 얼마나 효과가
And
있는지를 우리가
that
다
shows
알수 있어요.
borage
그래서
oil
이쪽부터 잘 보시면은
has a lot of
원래
functions.
이 PMS,
First of all,
우리가 이거를 충분히 잡을 수 있고요.
it can improve
그다음에
PMS,
여기에는 우리가 다 나타나지도 않았지만
and
체중
it can
조절도 같이 합니다.
also
왜냐하면
help you
혈액을
lose your weight
개선하면서
because
콜레스테롤을
it
떨어뜨려요.
can
그리고
improve
우리가 비만을 일으키는 나쁜 지방들을 잡기도
blood
하기
circulation
때문에 체중에서
and
다이어트
reduce
효과도 있어요.
cholesterol.
그리고 감마리룰렌산은
And
프로스타글란딘 합성을
GLA
촉진시켜가지고
can
우리 나쁜
enhance the
활성산소가 이
prostaglandin
세포를 파괴하는 것을 막아요. 그래서 노화도 막습니다. 사실은 이건 너무
synthesis
좋아요. 이거 너무
to
좋기 때문에
prevent you from
가마리룰렌산은
getting
그냥 늘
aged.
꾸준히
So
밥처럼 계속 드셔도
GLA is very, very
건강에 아무 해도
important,
없고 오히려
and you can have it
여성들의
just
건강에
like a meal,
좋습니다.
and it will not be very harmful for your health, and it can be even harmful for men as well, men without PMS.
개선을 볼 수 있기 때문에 훨씬 좋은 게
So GLA is a very, very important substance for your body health. The borage oil has 5 different functions,
그리고 여기에는 식물성 원료를 썼고
and we
그리고
used
덴마크에서 쓰는 원료를 썼고 하기 때문에
a Denmark
아주 안전하고
made
아주 우리한테는
ingredient
이런 그날은
and
보라지유를
also
한번
plant-based
이제
ingredient
출시를
as
앞두고
well.
있으니까
We will
경험해
soon
보시면
launch
좋겠습니다.
this new product.
근데
I
제가
hope
집에서
you can give it a try.
사실은 이
And at
그날의
home,
보라지유에서 보라지유는 옛날부터
the
있던
borage
거예요.
oil is
그래서
not
저는 이게 힘들
very
것
new.
같으면 저희 가족들한테는 그거를 구매해서 다 이렇게 먹으라고 해서
And
조절을 많이 해줬었어요.
I used to buy this borage oil for my family members.
그날이 아닌데도
But
이런 증상이
even
나와요.
when they are
마치
having this
동굴 안에 들어간
oil,
같은 증상.
and even when they are not before the period, they still have these conditions. They become very nervous, insecure, and
유일하게 딱 하나가
their mood
다른
is
점은
not really good.
없다는 거예요.
And one thing is different. They feel itchiness where the lower part of your belly, because
요도가 남자보다는 짧아요. 짧다 보니까
women has a shorter
질을 타서
urethra,
요도로
so
들어가서
they
방광을
are
뚫어요.
very
그
susceptible
여성들은
to
요로 감염이 남자보다 많아요. 어쩔 수 없습니다.
some
질이,
conditions
질을
like
타고
infection
질이 열려있기 때문에
than men.
그 가서 짧은 요도를 타고 방광으로 올라가는 경우가 워낙 많아서 남성에 비해서
So
여성들의
they
요로
are
감염이
more
매우
likely
어느 날
to
보면
get
요로 감염이
conditions
생겨서
like
그때는 아까
urinary
말씀드린
tract infection.
월경련증과 비슷한
So
심리
they
현상,
would
정서적인
feel
현상들이 막
very
나타나요.
similar
그래서
conditions like
예민하고
PMS.
기억력
They
떨어지고
become more sensitive,
불쾌하고
lower
짜증나고
memory. They
화나고
have bad
우울하고
mood,
외롭고 이런
very
일들이 막 벌어져요. 그게 이 안에
depressed.
있는 요로 감염 때문에
This
생깁니다.
is because of the condition,
그래서 이
urinary
질병의
tract
유산균은
infection.
요거를 막는 방법은 유산균입니다.
And
유산균으로
to
이걸 막을
prevent
수밖에
this
없어요.
kind of condition,
이거를
you need
세척을
to
하시면 안 됩니다.
have
비눗물로 자꾸
probiotics.
세척을
You
하시면은
should
오히려
not
균이
try to
없어져서
clean
적의 공격이 훨씬 심해집니다.
your
그래서
vagina.
억지로 세척은 하지 마시고 오히려
That would make
유산균을
things
계속
even
넣어서
worse.
건강한 유산균을
So
넣어서
the better
공격을
solution
막는
is
게
to have
제일
a
좋습니다.
lot of
그래서 첫
good
번째 관문인 질 안에
probiotics.
유산균이
So
건강하게 자라면
you need to have a very
이런
healthy
균들이 들어와도
probiotics
거기서 격퇴가
inside your
충분히
vagina
가능합니다. 그래서
to protect
우리
yourself
처음에는
from all this virus. And that is why Atomy has W in a balance.
질에만 작용하는 것이 아니라
And it's good for your vagina and it's good for your intestine as well. So it is good for your vagina health and intestine health as well. So it's W.
질과 요도에서 채취한 아주 기본적이고
We
강력한
have
균주,
a very potent and
락토바시러스
basic
균주를 요거를 대량을 해서
probiotics,
만든 것이 이노벨이었어요.
lactobacillus.
이 이노벤스 가지고 인체 시험을 했더니
We
이
did
질에
a
감염이 있던
test.
사람들이
And the result shows condition gotten better for the virginal infection. And after having it for 2 months, the result showed that those probiotics were very active. By having these probiotics, you can make your virginal health very good. And we also have 12 tests. And many people are wondering, is it possible really to have a good impact on my vagina by having this through mouth? So we did 12 clinical trials, and the result shows that the anus and vagina on the female body are very close to each other. So when you have a good substance through your mouth, then your vagina will also be affected. So the drug delivery effect is really, really good. And this is the result of 12 trials. Atomy inner balance is good for your vaginal balance to prevent some bad bacteria from growing inside your vagina, and it can also help for your bowel movement. So this is called W inner balance. So we have two products. Two products will be one package. Borage oil is good for PMS, but is it only good for the period when you have the condition? So you can calculate the dates. Like, if you are good at the calculation, then you can have it for 20 days out of 30 days every month. But it is not very easy to calculate. And the borage oil is also good for many other parts of your body. Like, it can help you lose your weight, and it can also prevent you from getting aged. So I would say it's better to have it like every day. Is one pill is only about 380 Korean won. So for PMS, you can have vitamin B6, magnesium, calcium, and I tried and calculated, and it's more than 1,000 Korean won for one capsule. So I think it is better for you to have one borage oil capsule, because it is less than 400 Korean won for one capsule. It is very reasonable price. So I hope everyone in this room can have a very better health. Thank you everyone.